We are just 8 hours away from a potential U.S. government shutdown, the first since December 2018, and the 21st in history. If Congress doesn't pass a stopgap measure by 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time, federal workers could be furloughed, markets could jitter, and economic uncertainty could spike overnight. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is reacting, and the SEC is reportedly moving to allow stocks to trade on chain, like crypto, forever changing how we invest. This is real-time financial news that affects everyone, and it's happening right now. What's up, family? It's Coach Massey, and you're locked into the Daily Hodl, your daily dose of Bitcoin and financial news. Remember, this is not financial advice, and it's for education and entertainment only. But let's break it down. Here we go. So, when we talk about Bitcoin and we talk about the government, there is risk. Right now, we're talking about a government shutdown risk because this is a serious and time-sensitive thing. If Congress fails to pass a stopgap measure by midnight, the U.S. will enter this 21st government shutdown. Like I told you, that means in just a few hours, federal operations could be paused, and that impact could ripple across every corner of our economy. Now, what does this actually mean for markets and investors like yourself? First, hundreds of thousands of federal employees could be furloughed. That means that their paychecks are delayed and consumer spending could pull back sharply. Next, government services may slow or actually just pause entirely, from administrative operations to regulatory approvals, creating uncertainty for businesses that rely on timely government actions. But it doesn't stop there. Market volatility tends to spike when uncertainty rises, and that includes stocks, bonds, and other traditional financial assets. Even the threat of a shutdown before midnight is enough to rattle traders and investors. History shows that during these periods, equity markets often swing sharply. Safe haven assets see inflows, and risk appetite becomes unpredictable. Family, investors hate uncertainty, and the closer we get to that 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time deadline, the more nervous the markets become. And remember, Bitcoin doesn't pause. Unlike traditional markets, it trades 24/7 and often reacts differently than stocks during periods of government dysfunction. That's why understanding shutdown risk is critical if you're watching the markets or holding Bitcoin right now. To me, it should mean people are buying Bitcoin for sure because the government's in chaos. But you really never know. And adding another layer to this financial storm is the JOLTS Job Openings report that came out today. 7.23 million, which was higher than the 7.21 million previous and the 7.19 million that was expected. That's a tongue twister. But on the surface, the labor market remains tight. Companies are still hiring and jobs are available. But here's the catch. When you combine this tight labor market with the looming government shutdown, well, volatility isn't just possible, it's very likely. Why does this matter again? Well, because during times of economic uncertainty, the market is so stressed out. Investors start looking for alternatives to the traditional system. And a strong labor market might seem bullish for stocks, but it could also fuel fears about rising interest rates or higher for longer or just keeping it flat for a long time. You also worry about inflation at the same time, and then stability is chaos. And this is where Bitcoin comes in, decentralized, borderless, and independent of government fiscal risk. While the stock market reacts to headlines and government gridlock, Bitcoin keeps operating 24/7 on the network. Investors see it as a hedge, a way to protect wealth when traditional markets are uncertain. That's me. In other words, Bitcoin thrives in situations where the traditional financial market shows cracks. And right now, with the JOLTS report signaling continued tightness and a potential shutdown on the horizon, the hedge narrative is stronger than ever. This isn't just theory, in my opinion. It's not theory. It's why we've seen Bitcoin react sharply during periods of economic uncertainty. Smart investors understand. Smart investors pay attention. And smart investors act when it's time to. Now let's talk about something that could reshape how the entire financial system operates. The SEC is reportedly moving to allow stocks to trade on-chain, like cryptocurrencies. This is huge. And if that happens, it could change the rules of the game for investors everywhere. See, faster settlements are important. Trades could potentially settle instantly, anytime, 24/7, eliminating the delays of traditional markets. Reduced reliance on clearinghouses as well. No more middlemen slowing down transactions. This increases efficiency and lowers costs. And then you have full transparency. Every trade would be verifiable on chain, providing a level of clarity and auditability we've never seen in traditional markets. So let's connect the dots to Bitcoin. Bitcoin laid the groundwork for this entire digital asset system. You see, it showed the world that decentralized, borderless, and trustless systems can work at scale. The SEC is moving in the direction, not because it doesn't want to monetize stocks, because it wants to validate it. It validates blockchain technology itself and the entire digital asset ecosystem. Picture this. A government shutdown hits, stocks freeze, traditional markets halt, but digital assets like Bitcoin continue trading worldwide without interruption. That's the power of blockchain. That's the value of Bitcoin provides for the world, independent, resilient, financial global system. Family, if you're paying attention, you see the bigger picture here. Blockchain is no longer the future. It's already influencing policy, market structure, and the way wealth moves. And Bitcoin remains at the center of that revolution. Let me connect the dots for you. Government shutdown equals uncertainty that could rattle market for hours, even days. Labor market tightness, JOLTS report, 7.23 million jobs. SEC on-chain stocks, traditional markets starting to adopt blockchain. All this creates opportunity and risk. Volatility is high, and Bitcoin provides a hedge because it's independent, transparent, and borderless. Picture this. Stocks halting during a shutdown, while Bitcoin continuing to rally. That's my belief. That's my hope. And that's what I love. Because I don't want control by the government that can't even control their own spending. So remember this. The government shutdown is a few hours away, possibly midnight. The JOLTS report shows a tight labor market, and the SEC is exploring on-chain stock trading. Bitcoin continues to prove itself as a resilient, independent asset. I want to hear from you. Do you think the U.S. government will avoid a shutdown tonight? And how do you see on-chain stock trading impacting Bitcoin adoption? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Remember, I read every one of them. And if you found value in this update, this Daily Hodl, smash that like button. Share this with anyone who loves Bitcoin news. And make sure you subscribe so you never miss a financial update. They happen every day here. And if you are even thinking about buying Bitcoin, you need to watch. Well, that's your Daily Hodl. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and as always, Lead.Pray.Hodl. I'll see you in the next one.